Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Okay, last one for the day. I promise. I won't be on tomorrow. Busy day tomorrow. Car's going in for a service, and things are happening tomorrow. So getting some videos out today because boy oh boy, things are really revving up. And there's a few topics that I wanted to have a look at. So what do I want to have a look at in this particular reading? Entertainment only. I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot. Do not feel like you need to watch every video. I know I put a lot out at times, so feel free to pick and choose. I know when I'm watching other readers that I pick and choose as well, because there's a lot of really good information out there. But what do I want to have a look at? Election Truth Alliance on the 6th of November. So what was that, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania demanding a statewide audit of the 2024 November results. Now, what's happened is they're using Cambria County as an example, where apparently 236 mail-in votes went missing. They were registered as received, but they were not rejected or cancelled. They simply went walkabout. So they were logged as received. So basically what happened is they received this number of mail-in votes were logged as received, but the results were 236 less than what was logged as received. And I've been seeing for ages, like, gosh, even before November last year, quite a while before, of a plastic box with a lid on it being pushed very quietly under the cloth covering a table, which basically means, there's going to be some that get disappeared. However, even more interesting is what happens is that the representative Frank Burns, and I can't say Frank Burns without thinking of MASH, so I do apologise for that. Representative Frank Burns, who did win the seat, I think, I'm assuming it's the Cambria seat, I didn't note down what seat it was. He reported that his vote total actually decreased during the election night, the 5th of November night. So, this number of votes that he got, and all of a sudden, next time they did an update, it was less. Being dismissed as a glitch. Yeah, interesting sort of glitch. And this is not the only report that this has happened, where allegedly a certain number of person was getting a certain number, and Harris as well. It's been shown, and I did forever ago put something up in my post section about Harris in particular counties having a certain number of votes with the counting, and then when they updated at sort of 11, so 11 o'clock at night was the moment. All of a sudden, the figures were down. Votes were gone. Being claimed dismissed as a glitch. Yeah, right. No. Okay. Now, apparently, I believe in Cambria County, there was something like 65,000 ballots were cast. Was that in Cambria County? I do apologise if I get any of these details wrong, but the gist of it is the same. Apparently every ballot, so there is a legal situation where if a ballot cannot be scanned because it's damaged or spoiled, or it won't go through the scanner for whatever reason, those that work in the counting polling stations, etc., can duplicate on behalf of the voter the actual ballot. So what happened is apparently every single ballot in that county was duplicated by a poll worker. Now, I'm not saying the poll workers were dubious, but it would take one poll worker with their pile to change the vote. So Second thing that's dubious. So first is missing mail-in ballots. Second is every single ballot was allegedly duplicated by a poll worker so that it could be fed into the counting machine. And also allegedly, apparently, there was 100% voter turnout. Now, in the US, is there ever 100% voter turnout? I mean, there are even areas when they've gone over 100% voter turnout. So this is really sus, like super, super, super sus. And we do know that Election Truth Alliance does not bring out the court cases unless they have the proof. So as I split the deck using the Golden Universal Tarot, the chaos of trying to get this home in regards to the trail of the ballots. So there's a lot of chaotic information about this particular Cambria County that, you know, they're going to try and bring orderly home. It's a hard ask, and it's to do with the paper trail of the ballots. Let's have a look. So, Cambria County. Was there voter dubiousness going on in Cambria County, Pennsylvania? Oh, something's flipped out there. Was there proven dubiousness going on in Cambria County, Pennsylvania? Come on down, let's have a look. The Eight of Wands. The throwing under the bus, the infighting, the you did it, no you did it squabble that's going on in the background behind the scenes. I'm going to say yes. And I think those that are responsible are already trying to set somebody up to take the fall. But this is throwing under the bus. This is very much finger pointing. The chaos of it. Now, I don't know whether in Cambria County, was that one of the ones that had the bomb threats and stuff that went off? No, it doesn't. It may have been, but this doesn't feel like that. This feels like shenanigans behind the scenes, and those that were involved know that they're going to get caught out and trying to set one up. You did it, no, you did it type thing as they all run for the door. Was there shenanigans? Yes. Whoever gets, well, one particular individual is going to be set up and they're going to be on the back foot. Oh, it's going to turn rapidly into a nightmare situation, a legal nightmare situation for those that were involved. This is on the back foot, defending against all this factual information that is brought forward. Yeah, I think absolutely. The steal, the energy that they're in. Yes, they stole 5 out of the 7. The steal, the election steal, absolutely. Now, I know Frank Burns still won the seat. Representative, I'm assuming he's a Democrat. I haven't even looked at it. But there is circus stealing going on here. Big time, the energy that they're stewing in. In the past, we've got the King of Wands. Now, in the past, in regards to this, there was some sort of order that came down, the action that was demanded. I think there was an order that came down to do this. Wow. was a plan, taking action on a plan. However, democracy won out in the area. This is about the best of democracy. I think the vote for the Democrat was just too overwhelming to be able to be compromised. But we've got here in the background the ibis or crane or whatever it is in the tree. That is a messenger, bringing a message forward, bringing news forward in the background. Demanding to be heard is what I'm getting from that. Even though, I'm assuming, I should look it up, even though the vote was overwhelming, there was this voice in the background saying, hang on! Still needed to be looked at. The immediate future. Loss and disappointment. 2 cups still standing, integrity still stood, but the emotional grief that will be felt. Was there dubiousness? Yes, there was. And they're just about to have their cups spilt on them. The promised path to the golden land is not, to the safety here is not open to them. Those who were involved are going to have to face the music in regards to this. Emotional loss, emotional disappointment. As it is fully exposed. The cheating is fully exposed. Internally, entrapped by the messaging. This could also be the White House itself being internally messaging from the the summer White House, let me put it that way. The siege mentality at the summer White House, hopes and fears, abandoned, walking away from their situation. Okay, we've got the Fool, new journey, or is it foolishness that leads to complete and utter legal downfall, and the abuse of power and betrayal. Self-sabotage, the winning at any cost, abuse and betrayal, contracts and agreements that are going to be revealed, going to lead back to the orange twerp. We've got here the 2 of Swords, the legality of it, those that were involved finding themselves abandoned and cast adrift, and then we've got the Ace of Cups, the emotional cleansing, the emotional overwhelming, the unburdening. I'm going to call that the unburdening card. You've got the absolute nightmare situation. You've got the military and you've got Russia as the votes are looked at closely with that Queen of Wands, and then the Sword of Truth coming forward. If I'm going to say it again, there is a part of the US Constitution, I believe, or something. There's something there. Biden signed the continuation of it that says that if the election is being proven to have been fraudulently compromised by overseas entities, the military can take control of the government. The government can be dismissed and the military can take control. It's there. I have posted it about 4 or 5 or 6 times in my post section. It's there. The military can take control and can put in an interim government if it is proven that the election has been stolen. So again, Cambria County, really important. really important now. I think Rockland County has it been put on the back burner? Because that was a real trigger. That was okay. Thank you. They're reminding me that at the time when I read on Rockland County that it wasn't it wasn't the barrel of dynamite. It was the lighter that would light the fuse then the fuse would lead to the barrel of dynamite. They were just the flame that would light the fuse. Okay, so I think what's happened with Rockland County is it's really brought it into public awareness that there was cheating or shenanigans going on, and that has lit the fuse for these other cases to come forward. Okay, so how, for Election Truth Alliance, how is the Cambria County election audit case going to go? How's it going to go? Because if they can prove finagling, shenanigans, dubiousness with Cambria County, it can force a statewide audit recounts, because the cheating was quite enough to trigger automatic recounts. And I am going to go out on the limb and say that if you thought January the 6th was bad, imagine what would happen nationwide with the mentality of the MAGAs and the Turning Point followers and the Bannon followers and the Fuente followers and all of those that were fully immersed in the cult and the lies of election being stolen in 2020 and all the rest of it. Imagine if Harris or Biden had come out and declared that the 2024 was stolen and that Biden was not going to leave the White House. It would make January the 6th literally look like a children's party picnic, and it would be nationwide. So I hate to say it, but that's why they didn't demand at the time. It would be lovely if they did, but can you imagine it would have been full-on civil war. The only way to destroy a cult is from within, and that's why the only way to destroy a cult is from within. We've got here the emperor, the democracy, full exposure of the steel and the emotional disappointment and feeling of loss, feeling like they had been betrayed. I mean, I'm talking about the cult members here. They are of the mindset where I suspect they will accept that they had been lied to and betrayed. Absolutely. Okay, let's have a look. Put those back randomly. Let's have a look. The Pennsylvania. This Election Truth Alliance, based on the figures of Cambria County, are demanding a Pennsylvania-wide audit, election audit. How's this going to go for Election Truth Alliance? Heartbreak, loss, betrayal, treason, despair, stabbed through the heart. How's it going to go for Election Truth Alliance? Are they going to, is this going to expose, or is this, so you've got the Emperor figure at the bottom there in absolute fear of this. Okay. Information about the votes is going to be brought forward. So you've got the Emperor figure here, or just call it the regime. The gluttonous regime is cowering in fear of this court case. because voting information is going to be presented that cannot be denied, being looked at. Here's that card again, the infighting, throwing under the bus. You did it. No, you did it. In the past, a lot of information coming out, a lot of facts coming out, and it's a huge wake-up call moment, collective awakening, call to arms, a judgment moment. I think they might win this. Yep, in the immediate future, we've got the investigation, the path forward, shining a light on the path forward in regards to this investigation. You've got externally the Queen of Wands, some sort of ruling being made. I don't know who's going to be the judge in this. I'd be interested to know if it was a female judge. Internally, about those who had cast their votes but had their votes cast aside. The hopes and fears, the voter themselves, the voters voting is there. We've got the Hierophant, a ruling coming down. This may go all the way to the Supreme Court, a ruling going down. You've got the orange twerp, the decrepit old king that's literally Weekend at Bernie's propped up. And a decision, a legal decision to be made here. Unexpected information coming out. It's my fleeing card in the face of a harsh truth about what went on in the past with the Six of Pentacles, the contracts and agreements that were made, rapidly turning into a nightmare situation. Somebody's going to, I think someone's going to spill the beans as the truth is fully revealed, and we've got this emotionally overwhelming that's going to bring a cleansing. You've got here legal restriction, but we the people, this could be legal restriction. This is interesting. Who's being restricted? The legality is restricting. We the people, the hidden agenda, but there's the loss. Could be information that comes in from overseas, the best of democracy, the big stick in regards to this abuse of power, the votes being looked at, and big new information coming out about the votes. Right, this may be simply the regime trying to legally restrict, because they know that when the truth comes out, they be a goner. So do not be surprised. I'm going to pause and have a look to see who's the judge on this. Hang on a sec. Well, that explains a lot. So yes, Frank Burns is a Democrat, so he's still won. But if I nip over and have a look, so it's on pacermonitor.com. If you just Google Election Truth Alliance Pennsylvania election audit, that you'll find the case. It's Election Truth Alliance versus Schmidt. I don't know who Schmidt is. I haven't looked into who is Schmidt, but the judge, Susan Paradise Baxter. Now, let me just have a look. Susan Paradise Baxter. Let's see who she is. United States District Judge in the Western District of Pennsylvania. Party affiliation Democrat, although I suspect she will be very unbiased. So she is, well, she is a progressive. She is a truth-seeking judge. So yes, the guides were right. It is a female judge. And the case is, if you look it up, Election Truth Alliance versus Schmidt, SCHMIDT. The complaint is against the Board of Elections of Allegheny County Board of Elections in Canberra, of the Canberra County Board of Elections of Ear County, Al Schmidt. Don't know who Al Schmidt is, but anyhow, that's who it's against. Okay. This is going to be very interesting. So yes, the guides picked up the female judge making a ruling. And yeah, watch this space. Watch this space. Okay, love to you all. Catch you in a couple of days. Take care.